What if I told you that the most powerful words in your vocabulary are actually the ones you use all the time? Today, we're going to dig into the hidden complexity of simple language and why the most common words are, well, anything but ordinary. So, let me ask you this. Do you think you could express pretty much any idea you have, from the really simple stuff to the super profound, using a vocabulary of just 850 words? I know, it sounds kind of crazy, but it's actually the whole foundation of a fascinating system.
850. That number isn't random. It's the absolute core of a system called Basic English, which was put together back in the 1930s by a guy named Charles K. Ogden. Now, his goal was to create a simplified but still totally functional version of English that anyone could learn like super fast. And the secret, it wasn't about limiting what you could say, but about choosing the most versatile words possible.
So let's think of it as the 850-word challenge. The point isn't to restrict your expression. Nope, it's to prove just how much you can actually do with a core set of really powerful, multi-purpose words. It's not about what's left out, it's all about unlocking the potential of what's in. So, how is that even possible? Well, the secret sauce is versatility. The words on this list, they're like Swiss Army knives. Each one is designed to be multifunctional, ready to adapt to a whole bunch of different contexts. To really see this in action, let's put one of these powerhouse words under the microscope. The word we're going to zoom in on is deep. It's a word we all know, a word we all use. But just how many different jobs can this one simple-sounding word actually do? Let's find out. And yep, you guessed it, deep is in fact on the official Basic English 850 list. That makes it the perfect candidate for our little case study here, because it's one of the core building blocks of this entire system. So, just how versatile is it? We are about to break down 5, count them, 5 totally distinct shades of meaning packed into this one little word. And you'll see how it shifts from something purely physical to something completely abstract. It's pretty cool. All right, first up, the most literal meaning, the one we all think of first. Physical distance. A hole or a lake is deep if it goes down a long way. Like that warning sign you see at a pool. Do not dive into the swimming pool because it is not deep enough. Super straightforward, totally concrete. Okay, now the word starts to get a little more interesting, a little more metaphorical. It still kind of means far inside, but now we're talking about ideas, not just physical spaces. You might find a deeper emotional meaning in a story, or feel a deep connection. See that? We've shifted from physical depth to conceptual depth. Next up, we're moving from space to sound. A deep voice or a deep musical note, that just means it has low-pitched tones. Think about an opera singer. The bass has the deepest voice. It's the same word, but describing a completely different sensory experience. And it doesn't stop there. Our fourth meaning jumps into the world of quantity and scale. When a price gets slashed, we call it a deep discount. It's almost like the price itself has gone down a long way. So we've gone from physical space to sound, and now to financial scale, and one word connects them all. And finally, we get to intellectual depth. An idea is deep if it has a really important, complex meaning that you can't see right away on the surface. When a friend says something that really makes you pause and think, you might just go, wow, that's deep. It's all about a hidden layer of meaning.
So, what's the big point here? Well, it's absolutely crucial. Having a simple vocabulary does not mean your communication has to be simplistic. And believe me, there is a world of difference between those two ideas.
And this slide lays it all out. This is the key difference. The whole goal of a system like Basic English is to create simple language, which is versatile, clear, and efficient. The fear, on the other hand, is simplistic language, which is limiting, kind of childish, and just lacks nuance. By choosing powerful words like deep, the system totally avoids ever being simplistic. So just think about the journey that one word took us on. We went from physical distance to emotional meaning to sound to finance and all the way to intellectual insight. That incredible efficiency, that's the real power of a well-chosen, simple vocabulary. So, what's the big takeaway from all this? Why does this matter for how you think about the words you use every single day? The lesson here is that we should never, ever underestimate our everyday vocabulary. Words like run, get, or set, and yeah, they're all on that Basic English list. They aren't just simple. They are packed with history, carrying layers and layers of meaning that make them these incredibly powerful tools for communication. So, I'll leave you with this question to chew on. What's a simple word that you use all the time that holds a surprisingly deep meaning? Because the real power of language isn't always in the complicated words we learn, but in mastering the simple ones we already know.